Good evening. So we're going to kick off our district and commission meeting. So we'll start with our roll call. So Mary Fosse.
Present.
Chris Geray.
Present.
Jim Langus.
Here.
Ethel McNeal.
Present.
John Monroe.
Present.
Kari Quas.
Present.
Simone Tarver. Here. Julius Wilson.
Here.
Ben Young.
Present.
And so Nicole sent us minutes today for October 1st and October 5th. I move to approve them as they are. Does anyone have, unless anyone has anything they want to see changed on them? If not, can I get a second?
Excuse me.
Second.
So that second. Simone,
Okay.
on October 5th.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that I made the motion on precinct 40. I mean, I'm happy to have my name there. That's fine. But I don't made that motion. But if you want to, we want to leave it. That's fine. I'm fine with that characterization.
I can go back and double check that, and so we can approve the minutes for the first.
Sure.
And then I will send out, my plan is to send out the minutes from this meeting via email and do a vote. And so I'll go back and double check that and put it in the body of the email, what was changed for October 5th. And then you guys can just email vote the 19th and the 5th, because that should be correct. So I'll go back and check on that just to make sure.
Perfect. So I move to approve the minutes for October 1st as they're written.
Second.
All in favor say, let's go yay, nay today. Yay.
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 Anyone opposed? Nay? No naysayers. Great. So chair comments. I don't have too much to say right now. I kind of want to save it till the end, but since our last meeting, the Snohomish County NAACP president invited me to give a brief overview to their group. And so on Thursday evening, I did like a Zoom with them, and Ethel, Ben, Nicole, and Flora were present with me. And so that was open to their members and to the public since they posted the link on Zoom, or they posted the link to Zoom on their Facebook. As an organization, they didn't give us any formal feedback, but I feel like after giving them the brief overview that we gave during our community meetings and giving some time for a Q&A, the attendees left with a much better idea of our work and where we go from here. Ethel, Ben, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No. No.
Perfect.
No.
Alrighty. And so the next thing we have up will be the Council of Neighborhoods meeting next week. So I'll be attending that, and I believe it'll be Nicole and Flora and Chris as well. And they're aware that we're there to listen, and as opposed to accepting official feedback at that meeting, and we'll report back via email, you know, kind of how that goes. And of course, everyone's welcome to hop on and join that.
And they're aware that we will not be accepting feedback at that, although we're there to listen and provide information. That the feedback is not going to be able to be used in any way to, you know, edit the current plan or plan that you adopt today. So they're aware of that.
And then staff comments.
So I just wanted to say that I'm going to email the minutes out for the meeting today and the meeting for the 5th with any corrections that need to be made, and I'll highlight those in the body. Another thing is I sent out the language for the vote for A9, and actually John had a great suggestion that it should say rather than final approval, we should use the word adoption. So whoever's going to make that motion today, that would be great to think about that. I wanted to thank all of you guys one more time for your time and diligence. I know that this was a very hard process. It was a lot of data, numbers, community comments. Some of you have been in my opinion, beat up by the community. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate everyone always showing up prepared, taking the extra time to drive through the districts, to do your research, to talk to your neighbors, and to always come to the table with good input and great feedback for me. I've not run a commission of this importance, I would say, before, and I've never run a commission before at all. So this is just it's been a complete honor for me. I really respect everyone who has been a commissioner on this project. And I really hope that I get to work with all of you in another capacity in the future, because I really value and I know what you guys all bring to the table. And I hope that the community does as well. You're all very different, but you were all very prepared and really made this process, I think, as good as it could have been. So thank you so much. And with that, I will move on to getting this meeting going. Flora, do you have any comments for the commission today?
No, I would, I guess, echo your thanks to everybody for all of the effort and time that everyone put into this. I also grew up in Everett, so I really appreciate seeing people put so much care and thought into Everett's future.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
we'll open it up to comments from the commission and pass it back to Simone to lead our final meeting today.
I think I'm guessing, I don't know if everyone will have something they want to say, but probably the easiest thing, we'll just go down the line. So Mary Fosse.
Okay, so I guess this is my chance to speak. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, so I also wanted to start with thanking everybody, the city staff, legal counsel, interns, and our district master, and especially Nicole, for putting so much time and work and effort into this important commission. It was a huge undertaking, and it wouldn't have been possible without you. And I know it wasn't easy with resources stretched thin during this time. So thank you so much. I also want to thank my fellow commissioners for giving so much of your guys' time and energy and volunteering for this. It's known that all of you guys really care about the city and have a history of contributing to our communities here. So thank you for volunteering on this commission, especially our vice chair, Chris, and our chair, Simone. Thank you for your extra efforts and leadership, and I'm glad it was you. I also wanted to thank the citizens that originally fought for districts in Everett and equitable representation, and my fellow commissioners wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that grand grassroots efforts for change. The positive changes that are going to be coming to representation on our city council is a success story of how engaged citizens can transform their government and our future to be more equitable. And lastly, I just want to thank all of the people in the city that participated in this process, because despite it being a major pandemic and having to adapt to doing everything virtual, we still received around 100 public comments or so. And with such massive barriers and major things happening right now, it really just warms my heart with hope that so many people still cared enough to go out of their way to learn about this complicated process, email in, or give up their valuable time to attend online forums, which usually aren't particularly exciting. So thank you so much for contributing your voices. I heard insightful feedback. I learned a lot. I heard some valuable perspectives, and many expressed their frustrations. And while the final outcome may not be what some of you have wished, I hope that we can still celebrate in the progress that was made, because in just having districts, next year we will be seeing so many new people rising up and asking to represent your voice on the city council. And perhaps, like me, you'll also find comfort in the level of engagement you saw from your neighbors. The only way things get better is when people care, and I just feel really lucky to live in this beautiful city.
Thank you, Mary. Chris?
Yeah, I don't think I could say much better than Mary did. That was fantastic, and I would echo all of those comments. Thank you to all of the city staff. I know you guys have worked tremendous amount of hours and did a lot of things that we're probably not even aware of to help support all of this. I personally, I really enjoyed, thinking back to where we all started, introducing ourselves to each other. Some of us knew each other, but I really enjoyed getting to know all of you. I think everyone's brought some really great viewpoints to the table and worked really hard on this. So I'm proud of what we've done. I do thank the public for your attention and your input and your support on the process. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it all works out. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Chris. Jim?
I concur with Chris and Mary. I genuinely want to wish all of you the best of success in all of your future endeavors. I appreciated the commitment from everybody on the committee. I respect everyone for their passion around certain aspects. We all took this work seriously, and we all dedicated a considerable amount of time. And I also want to acknowledge Nicole and as our project manager and our two chairpersons, Chris and Simone, for their organization and work on the agendas and presentations to the council, and for, importantly, for arranging the public meetings. I thought that Nicole and Simone ran those very professionally, and they were well managed. It was challenging working virtually under these circumstances and not being together. There's going to be a new census in 2021, and it's unclear what the city will do with respect to that data. As current committee members, I believe that most of us recognize that the ESRI data enrichment with the population 2020 estimates and all of the new developments that a number of you mentioned at different times throughout our meetings that are going to be either completed or in process of being completed, that will add a lot of population, that coupled with the new census is going to create a lot of relevant information for others to use when time comes for another districting process, another districting review. And so for those of you who are going to be engaged in the future, and I suspect some of you might be, you will have an advantage to help the committee, because you will be in a position to discuss some of the parameters that we faced in not being able to split precincts. Was presented by the legal department with the comment that it would create legal vulnerability. Advocated by Mr. Fairfax, our committee concurred with this criteria of keeping precincts intact. And I raised the issue a couple of times with respect to South Forest Park. And following precincts made the work challenging for us. And after the public meetings, I was attentive to a point that a person made from Bayside who lived on Rucker. And I reviewed the population and the precinct and ran the deviation percentage with the purpose of seeing if there was a way to address that particular issue on Bayside, and at the same time, because of the shift in population, perhaps find a way to combine Pinehurst Beverly in one district rather than two. And I couldn't make it work. And I know Mr. Fairfax had apparently done that and couldn't make it work either. But I did think that the person was right, and it was a good concern. And so from one person's point of view, I just want to say that to any of you that will be serving in the future, if legal, my recommendation would be to consider approach this matter from the standpoint of neighborhoods first. And last, I want to thank Ethel McNeal for speaking her mind and reminding all of us passionately at times that this work was about doing what was right and best for the city of Everett, and that she would not support any gerrymandering. And I admire her convictions and honesty for speaking clearly. And thanks, everyone. I wish you all the very best in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Simone?
Yes.
If I might interject, I forgot a very important person. I just also wanted to thank Tony. I think we made a fantastic choice. I've really enjoyed working with you. Just your calm demeanor and your ability to respond just so well to all of the questions and things that we've hassled you with. It's been really great working with you. So I've neglected to thank you as well.
Thank you. Ethel.
Yes. Hopefully you can hear me. I'd like to thank everyone who worked on this committee. It has not been an easy task, but when you're making big changes, it never is easy to do. I'm glad that we could come together and work and work on these things and think about the city of Everett as a whole. I've been here for a long time, raised my kids here, been involved with a lot of things. And I think that we put a lot of work into this. I'd like to thank Mr. Tony Fairfax for helping us with this process along the way. Nicole, Simone, and Chris, all of us, together, we've worked on this thing. And I think it's important that we look back and realize that this was something new, and we always fear the unknown, things that we're not used to doing. And this is definitely something new for the city of Everett. We are to be united with one another to support, to make this city a great city to live in continuously. And with all the things that are going on right now, I'm glad that we have come this far. And we're at a point now where we can say, this is what we've done. And you won't know that it will work until you try it. And sometimes when you look at things in that perspective and go with it with an open mind, you'll find that the things that you feared were not fearful at all. They were actually good things to work with, and they've taken you a long way. So whoever the commission ends up being later on, I hopefully they'll take note of what has happened now and work progressively as well to keep things going. And I'd like to just leave you with this. Peace is not when everyone agrees. It is when we can respect our disagreements and still play in the sandbox together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethel. John?
Ethel, you're absolutely spot on. When you think about the amount of time that we have spent together over the last year now, and I can remember some of the very first meetings that we had, and to be quite honest, they were rather contentious. I know things might have gotten a little tense between Mr. Young and myself. Got a little contentious between Nicole and myself. But when you look at how different we all are, and where we have been, and where we're all headed, which is hopefully the same direction, it's just amazing to see what we have been able to accomplish in the last 12 months. It's a testament to working together. It's a testament to making sure that we've done our homework. It's a testament to each other and the commitment we made 12 months ago to do this districting job. And I certainly do want to thank all my friends and fellow commissioners. And seeing some of you folks that I like, Ethel. Gosh, Ethel, it was really good to see you. We worked together 50 years ago, and to see your smiling face across the table was really, really, really cool. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you for putting up with my process, being a process wonk. Appreciate that too. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Kari?
Hi. I really didn't prepare anything for this one. I feel like I said a lot of it before, but I did listen to the Everett City Council presentation that Tony and Simone and Nicole gave a week or so ago. And it was interesting to hear the council members talk about what we had done, and just to get their impressions, because this is going to affect their world quite a bit. But I think what stood out to me the most was Tony's comment, which was to give it a chance, and that 2 years isn't long enough to give it any kind of test. It's going to take a decade. It's going to take time. And I realize through, well, so many things in my life, I'm old enough to know that things take time. And when I was young, I wanted things immediately. I mean, now. And then I got in my 20s and 30s, and you get into organizations and things change a little bit. And things just take time. Good stuff takes time. We got to work for this stuff. I think it would be great to see this plan get a good fair shake for a decade and then see where it goes. I got called out as being white and privileged from Northwest, which I am, no doubt. I take that to heart, and I hope that everyone on here and the public knows that I take this stuff very seriously. I don't take it lightly. And I don't think that anyone on the commission took any of this lightly. I think we took our roles very seriously. So I believe that given a chance, this is going to really change how Everett is set up. And I'm looking forward to it. I would like to reach out my hand to say, hey, let's all work together going forward. And I really appreciate every one of you on here. I think that as I think Jim or somebody said, you know, or Chris, when we started this, my goodness, we barely knew each other. And we learned a lot about each other through this process. And I think that I take all of your words to heart. I think I've heard some good stuff that have helped me shape my thoughts, as well as my own just developing what that is. So thank you to the city staff. Thank you to my fellow commissioners. Thank you to Tony very much for your, again, measured, thoughtful, analytical way that you gave us the information and the steps along the way. I appreciate that. So we'll see where this goes. I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out over time. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Julius?
I don't have anything to say. You guys spoke for me. You guys did it well put. That's all. Nice seeing you guys. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Julius. Ben?
Well, of course, I'm supposed to start off by saying I don't have anything to say, and so you guys can come tune back in about a half an hour when I get finished. But some of you may know, and some of you may not know, that I am involved in a lot of nonprofits throughout the county, actually all the way from here to Bellingham. And my input there has always been getting equitable outcomes. And so equity has been the major driving force of everything that I do in my life right now. As a senior person, there is nothing more important to me than it be equitable circumstances for all people to have an opportunity to move forward. With that being said, I want to make sure that I have a special thank you to Tony. I think it was just amazing what you did. I am somewhat familiar with Esri and how the overlays work there, but the information that you put and the way that you structured it in the manner that made it comprehensible to all the people that were listening, it was amazing. I cannot tell you how great that it just fit. It just fit. I at one point thought I was going to be able to argue with you, and then you made sure I wasn't able to. And that's a pretty amazing thing there in itself, because I can argue with everyone. And I do it just off the drop of a hat, just because I'm such a contentious person, as John has found out. But that being said, I want to also thank Nicole. Nicole, you did something that I don't think people are going to understand and appreciate. But even more so, Simone, thank you for taking a lot of the heat for us, because I know that you did. I know that I've heard some of the comments that people have made to you and about you, and thank you, because I wouldn't put up with it. But and then I want to thank everybody else that was a part of this, because no matter how much my stern attitude and straightforward thinking was, I truly believe that the end result, the outcome of this is a very equitable thing for the city of Everett. That some people are not going to see it that way, but if they go in and really dig in and look at the numbers, this is a better outcome than anything that they could have really gotten with an east-west divide. I know I went in thinking that we were going to have to do an east-west divide. And then I actually looked at the maps and Tony explained it to me, and I saw that really didn't make a lot of sense to me. It may have made sense to other folks, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then the legality of it said, hey, we probably should do it the way that we did. And I'm proud of that work. I'm proud of the work that all of us have done. I think it's an outstanding job, excluding no one. I think that everyone worked very diligently and methodically in arriving at this. I don't believe that we still all completely agree, but I do believe that we're all completely proud of the product that we have produced. And I thank you for it. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. It's a historical moment for the city of Everett, but it's also a historical moment for me. So thank you.
Thank you, Ben. So we'll move on to item number 2. So we'll open up our discussion on map A9. I don't know if it'd be helpful for us to have it up.
You want me to pull it up?
Maybe let's put it up just so we can.
Yeah, give me just 5 seconds here and I'll grab it.
So we can open this up to any further discussion if anyone wants to say anything before any motions are made.
This is Kari. While she's pulling up the map, all we hear is the tap, tap, tap. I think we've received all the public comment that has come in, right, Nicole? I mean, there just has not been a ton of written. There's been some streams of emails, but maybe 6 to 10 or something like that. I'm guessing off the number, but it didn't seem like a lot.
Yeah, and actually on that point, I wanted to make a clarifying note because I know Mary noticed and some of the community as well. When I flipped over my files to our intern, some of the comment from June and previously got dropped off the bottom, and we're getting that put back up there. But I just wanted to acknowledge and say to the community that every single email that has been sent, the commission has seen and reviewed, and it's been discussed at our meetings. So I did go back this afternoon. I didn't upload everything because I wanted to make sure that you guys had actually seen everything, and that is correct. You have seen everything that I have seen, and I'll get that website fixed. Esther's actually working on that this week, so we'll get it taken care of. But I did just want to acknowledge it because I did get an email from the community as well. So, and I have the map. So on the 28th, we'll be bringing this to council for final adoption. And so that meeting is, I believe it's an afternoon meeting. And so if anybody wants to tune in, you're absolutely welcome to do so. You see it, the map?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll open it up if anyone has anything they'd like to bring up before we make a motion, or else we can just save it for after the motion's been made for that discussion time. Alrighty, if there's nothing anyone wants to bring up right now, then I move to approve the districting plan with map A9 as created by the Everett Districting Commission, and for staff to bring this plan forward for adoption by the Everett City Council on October 28th, 2020.
I second that motion.
All right, so we'll open it up to discussion.
Okay, I think I need to say something here. Just need to explain. With full acknowledgement that my individual vote will not prevent this map version from being approved by City Council, I will be voting no, and that's not because I don't think this map will ultimately be a step forward for better representation, but because of what could have been and the lack of consideration we gave residents of this city providing public comment. I took issue with, and as an advocate for community engagement, I believe we had the opportunity to make this process really meaningful and strengthen the fabric of community in the city, and I think the commission fell short on that. I also wanted to add that I strongly encourage everyone who commented and participated in this process and everyone at home watching this to please get involved in your local boards, commissions, and councils. They're a little bit less intense probably than this one is, but it's really difficult to see progress and equitable outcomes without diverse perspectives. And I know traditionally these bodies aren't always as accessible as they should be, but there are a lot of people trying to make it better, and we want to hear from you because we believe that your voice has value. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Does anyone else have any other comments? Alrighty, if there is none, then I'll do the roll call for us to vote. So Mary Fosse?
Nay.
Chris Geray?
Yay.
Jim Lingus?
Yes.
Ethel McNeal?
Yay.
John Monroe?
Yay.
Kari Quas?
Yay.
Simone Tarver? Yay. Julius Wilson?
Yay.
Ben Young?
Yay.
Alrighty, so we move to approve that final map. So that's about it, everyone. I do have just my last little comments I wanted to say for the end. But I just want to
save those, Simone, because we do have, Tony has a couple things to say real quick about his final report. So if you want to end us, then hold tight just for a second. So Tony's working on his final report. I'll let him give you an update on that really quickly. And then we can close out.
Thanks. As Nicole said, I'm working on the final report, and this is an expansion of the report that a draft form I put together for Plan A8, except it adds the statistics for A9 and the other processes that we actually went through after that, which is the redistricting technical change and the change in precinct 40 in District 4 and 5. And so I will be sending you out probably just in draft form. Hopefully, Ms. Weber can send it to you all maybe tomorrow. It's not going to be in final, but I think you all deserve to see something before it actually becomes final. And the target date is Friday to actually submit as a final report. So Nicole can have enough time to actually put it together for next week. I'm going to, just some of the logistical matters, I'm going to send to the auditor of the county via Ms. Weber, shapefile of the districting plan, a listing of the precincts that are included in each of the districts, and a map. I'll send that to the planning department as well as the auditor via Ms. Weber. And hopefully that'll close us out on any official sort of geographic and data that we actually need. And that's it, except for I wanted to say that you all have been a joy to work with. You're a diverse commission with a bunch of smart people with a bunch of different ideas. And sometimes that's difficult to put together and come to some agreement on anything when you have individuals like that. And when we started, I remember talking to Ms. Weber about it's good if you can come up with a supermajority. If you can come up with a supermajority, then you've done a good job. And I think you've done that plus some. And so I think that you all should be proud of the plan that you have created and put together. You know, all I did was actually sort of stand back and keep you within the goalposts, if you will. Make sure that you didn't foul anybody. And you all created this plan. And there's one thing that I think is somewhat important, but it doesn't seem like it's important. The plan passed what's called the ocular test. And what the ocular test is when you look at it, does it look like a good plan? And that's many times what the citizens, average citizen would do. And it looks like a good plan. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But I think it's going to be a big step to you all having a little more fairness in the city of Everett. And I think over time, I think you all will adjust it to something that you're going to be very, very, very proud of, if you're not proud of always. And of course, I just want to end thanking you all and Ms. Weber, Ms. Tarver for chairing, Chris Geray for being, of course, the vice chair, all of the commissioners who everyone added input into the plan. And so you all should be proud rather, of what you've done. AV, PIPA, and I want to make sure that the snafu with the automatic slide at City Council, that was my fault. It wasn't PIPA's fault. She's done an excellent job throughout the months. And so kudos for her. And then finally, Attorney Diaz for keeping us honest and legal. And so I want to thank you. It's been a joy.
Thank you, Tony. All right, well, I'll finally say my little piece. Try not to get all sappy on you, everyone, okay? So I want to thank all the commissioners. I'm really, really proud to have worked on such a diverse commission. And it's really great that we were able to bring together such a great span of lived experience from all of us various Everett residents. And I think that was one of the great strengths that our commission had. I want to thank Nicole, Pipa, and Flora for all their hard work. They were so pleasant and nice to work with. And I could go on and on about how awesome they've been to work with, but please, I hope all three of you know that I appreciate everything you've done and think that you just all did great. Tony, I want to echo Ben's comments from earlier. You made the process and the data so much more approachable for us, and I think made it more approachable for even the residents that watched our meetings and viewed all of our materials. I'm really glad we were able to hire you, and it's been great getting to know you over the past several months. I want to thank all the members of the community that fought hard to get districts on the ballot originally, and also everyone that attended a meeting, provided us feedback, or participated in any respect. I think that participation was really important. And, you know, it's just been such an honor to serve as the chair of this commission, and I'm really excited to see districting roll out. I'm hopeful to see more local representation than we've historically seen. And even if the map doesn't look exactly how some may have hoped, I think that we can all be really proud of the work that we've done. And I hope that everyone is willing to give this map a chance before making any sound decisions on how efficient it may or may not be. But I think, like I said before, overall, it's gonna lead to more local representation than we've had. And above all else, I would say that was one of the main goals of this from the get-go. And we accomplished that and more. So I hope everyone is really proud of the work that they've done, and just know that I'm super proud of the work that we've done and proud of every single one of you that participated. So thank you all so much. And if no one else has anything else to say, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Alrighty, good night, everyone.
Good night.
45-minute meeting, shortest yet.
Enjoy your week.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.